All right, we are back and things look regular. I need to set up my filters real quick. Oh, I can copy them from somewhere. Oh, okay. So we're going to pop over here real quick. We are going to grab this. We are going to copy filters. We are going to pop back here. There we go. We are going to paste filters. All right. Now, I bet I sound a whole lot better. You know what? We should probably check this out. Like I said, this is something I normally do before a stream, but I didn't think about it today. And my son got up and distracted me immediately with Minecraft. So let's go ahead and this should be on this screen, huh? Oh, hey, no. There we go. Look at that. All right, so we are going to pop into advanced audio properties. And we are going to check our mic out. We're going to turn this monitor and output on so we can hear. Oh, I am outputting to the wrong source. Can you hear that? Echo. Let's drop that in my headphones. That sounds the same. Sounds like it's still coming out of the speakers. All right, well, sounds good, sounds loud. Let's get this monitor off. All right, echo should be gone. And what are we taking a look at today? Well, I don't have a lot to look at today. What I wanted to do was set up a couple things and podcast. I haven't done a podcast in a while. I've been kind of focusing on Twitch, but I wanted to go ahead and try and set something up here. Let's see here. I thought I had a thought I had a Patreon announcement here. Oh, and that's just a Patreon announcement, huh? Okay, so I can I guess I didn't write that down, but I will yeah, I think I'll rewrite my outro later and then record that. Ooh, wobbly. Why is my mic so wobbly? Oh, it comes right out. Oh my goodness. Still wobbly. Still wobbly, but that's okay. Oh, and my wife's home, so there's probably going to be a little interruption here. So give me just a minute. Hey, what's going on? Um, Thanos killer, huh? So you're Thor? Um, that was my wife just got home from doing something, so she wanted to tell me all about it. She's also trying to quit smoking, so it's very exciting. I would like to see her quit smoking. Yeah, so like I said 10 minutes ago or whatever, what I want to do here is just kind of record my podcast. And I want to kind of focus on that and edit it down. So I'm going to pull my notes over here, and I got my kid in the background. He's Siren Head. He does not like to close doors. I don't think I liked to close doors when I was a kid either. My other kids didn't like to close doors, so hey. All right. I don't think there's really a need to see anything on the screen here, but we'll pop this over just in case here. So this is my World Anvil page. This is kind of where I've started tracking everything. I'm going to start prepping here, I think. So I think that I'm phasing out OneNote. I usually use OneNote for something like this. I can pull up my OneNote as well. That is Twitch. That is not OneNote. There's OneNote. Let's see here. I can pop this over the screen here. So this is my folder here. And this is kind of this is my Chronicle section. So this is all the episodes. You can see them all down here on the left. And 17 was the last one that I used OneNote for. And it looks like we're on 18, right? No, 19. Okay. So I have not used OneNote in 2 sessions. There's stuff going on here. See, like 17, I had a bunch of stuff that I needed to keep track of. Figured out like these things. Set up a script to import a deck. I did that. Update what happened. That's on my Roll20 page. But all this stuff I'm keeping track of somewhere else. So like I said, I'm kind of dropping this part of OneNote, and I don't know if I'm even going to use any of this stuff, right? So I've got adventure prep here, which I'm starting to look at ways to do that on World Anvil. That way I can preserve my adventures forever. My characters are all moving over to World Anvil. Not that I ever had much of them in here, right? I have D&D Beyond links for some of them, but that's about it, you know? Enemy list, what's that? Oh, crazy. NPCs, I've got a long list of NPCs in here, but again, those are going over to World Anvil. And they are, you know, they're more detailed than this. They have more fields I can fill out. If you see me looking left, that's because this screen is over. You know what we should do? We should move me over there. And this over here. Oops, that did not work. There we go. Now every time I look over here, no, it was better before, huh? Better before. There you go. So now when I look that way, yeah, all right. Because I'm backwards, I guess, right? Because you guys are looking at me and I'm looking at, okay, so yeah, when I look over there, I'm looking at that. Easy. All right, so yeah, I haven't really thought too much. I got a lot of stuff that's in here, but not in here, you know. I've got a lot of old stuff. I've got a lot of items that I need. Well, I don't need to transfer any of this stuff over, you know, because I have it in 2 places, and a lot of it's old, like I said, that I'm not going to use. Yeah, there are not very much in here. Uru, what? Haha, that's funny. I didn't know I put him in here. He's from World of Warcraft. And then I've got like information and secrets. I've got some secrets here. Not much there, huh? These are the secrets that I wanted to write out, and kind of Sly Flourish does the secrets, 10 secrets for every adventure or session. I think he does prep for. I do mine per adventure so I can carry him over. So yeah, this is a lot of me explaining, and I should just kind of jump into recording here. So last night we played D&D, and it was amazing. I kind of ushered them. I'm getting sick of this. It's been like 3 months, really, that we have been in this giant cavern system, and wow, it's been a bear. There's a lot of monsters in here. If I was doing this without Roll20, I would have been doing this a lot longer. This would have gone on for probably twice as long. I would have done some things differently too. I wouldn't have mixed so many monsters in. I would have had to study the monsters a lot harder beforehand. I would have had to make plans for those monsters. But this time around, because of Roll20, like, I've got all that information like right there. Like, double click and it's there. I don't have to flip through a book. I don't have to search on D&D Beyond. I don't have to look for the links in my OneNote. It's right there on the screen with the map. So it was a lot easier. I should have studied the monsters more. I have a failing with doing that. So my time kind of lags sometimes, especially when I get the spellcasting monsters, because I'm like, oh, they have spells. What spells are they? But again, Roll20 makes it really easy because all that stuff's right there. I don't have to look it up in a book. I don't have to click a link to follow it. I don't have to figure any of that stuff out. It's all right there for me. And it makes it go way faster. And this is something, so one of my friends said, oh, so we're never meeting online again, huh? And I was like, no, we can meet online again, or we can meet in person again. That's what he said. We're never meeting in person again. And I said, no, we can meet in person again. We're just always going to have a monitor with Roll20 on there. So last night, their elder brain friend, Krang, we'll use the term friend loosely. He is wandering around with them, trapped in a water elemental, because he has to stay in brine, right? He's got to stay fresh. Can't live too long without his brine. So he's been looking for his brother. And he's pushing them right now because I'm pushing them. I'm saying he's in the other room. We're going there. Let's go, let's go, let's go. So they take a short rest at the end of last session. And I pull them straight in. And they're like, why aren't you leading? And I said, well, I want you guys to go, I want you guys to figure out where this stuff is. And so we hit the edge of this giant room, and I have them roll initiative, kind of describe the room out. Actually, I didn't describe the room out, and then I went back and I said, wait a minute, let's describe the room out here before the first player goes, so we can figure out what's going on. So in the center of the room, there's this glowing ball with a unicorn trapped inside, electricity coming from the pillars on either side of it. And and this unicorn is obviously trapped. When someone goes up to interact with it, they can't get through the ball. They can't. And the unicorn looks exhausted, standing there. Looks like it's been standing there for however long it's been there. In the back of the room, there is a giant, an Empyrean, a Titan, celestial Titan. And this guy is like at least 20 feet tall. This room is huge. It's 110 feet across and just as high as it is wide. So this Empyreon's wearing like a skull cap, a beanie kind of, tam they're called, I believe. And they know this to be an illusion, and it's a fiendish larva that's actually in his brain, controlling him. And that's why he's working for the fiends that own this prison. So they decide, well, they don't decide, they start attacking. They go for the head. There are only 2 other mobs in here with it. I rushed them through the first part when they actually saw one of the players had control of Earth Elemental. So when they went into that room, there were Earth Elementals, or into that map there were Earth Elementals, and they could see what the Earth Elementals saw. So that was my mistake there. But they didn't think anything of it. They just assumed that, okay, we're going past that. The plan for this, though, was either they decide to go into each room and clear out the monsters beforehand, or they fight them all at the same time. So at every initiative, at the end of every initiative round, I brought in a new set of monsters at 0 and let them take a turn. So this is a big melee. They've got a Kirin on their side. They've got a Dao on their side. And I had thought about it. One of the players suggested it. I should pass out these characters and let other people play them, because I had a lot of interaction with myself. I had a fight going on in a hall. Akiran did a lot of the damage to the Empyrean, so I think it would have felt better in the player's hands. So next time I'm going to pass those over. But it wasn't something I wanted to drop on them at the beginning of combat. Oh, here's the Dao with 20 spells. Why don't you figure out what he's doing? Here's a Corinne who's mostly a healer but can attack pretty hard, so why don't you figure out what he's doing? I say he, and I should be saying it, I think. This was combat. This is a slog, because after the first round, 2 Ouroboros come out, and these are Toma beasts, so nobody knows anything about them. So I've got crazy abilities. And see, I should have studied my monsters a little better, because they have this incapacitating thing that is it's not a high DC, it's only 15, but still, it was wisdom, and some people had a problem making it. One person used, the thief Roger used inspiration to reroll. I had a new player. My best friend from high school came in and got to play, and he just had problems all night. I smacked him down pretty hard, and I incapacitated him. I knocked him prone. So he was feeling a little useless, right? I told him after the game, I was like, "Hey, man, every other person who comes in at a time where it's heavy role playing, and they don't get to do anything but sit in the back and not have any input because they don't know what's going on. So at least you got to roll some dice." So I've got these Ouroboros who are they make you ponder, sit and think introspectively about things. So that affected, like I said, the fighter, who everyone was excited to have a fighter. So that was the Kirin became the tank, because that was what was in the Empyrean's face. So that kind of saved the players a lot, because this Empyrean was doing at least 30 a swing, and I know he crit at least once. So the Earth Elementals got tanked. And then these Ouroboros came in. One was polymorphed, one was taken out. I stopped using the incapacitating ability, because they could use it every single turn, and that would have got very annoying on the players very fast, especially with all the different monsters. If this were, I think the Ouroboros was made to be a boss monster because it has legendary actions. Something else that I should have paid attention to while I was making this dungeon said, wow, there's going to be 3 people in here with legendary actions. Maybe I should back off on that just a little bit. But I think they're more designed to be a boss monster, so you would try to be locking them down and hit them hard and get them out. The fight was only 4 rounds long, I believe. I forgot to look, but I'm pretty sure it was only 4 rounds. And it was a slog. So after that, some ghouls came out. They have some goth friends. They dress in black and talk all negative. Seriously, they're little beholder dudes. Not little tiny beholder dudes, but medium-sized beholder dudes. And they only have 6 stalks on top of their head instead of 8. And they only move 20 feet around, so they're way in the back. So they're fighting these ghouls in the back, while the fight continues in the main room. So first round, Ouroboros came out. Second round, the ghouls came out. Third round, Arians came out, and that was pretty much the end. The Arians didn't get to go in the 4th round because I called it. They knocked down the Empyrean. They got down the Ouroboros. One was polymorphed. The other was just beat down. And 2 Arians weren't going to do much against them. Although I did have 5 or 6 more monsters hidden in the back. One of them had legendary actions. The rest of them were casters. So I was like, hey, so this is the situation here. It's 11 o'clock. We usually go to 10 or 10:30. 11 o'clock's not stretching it too bad, especially when everyone was into it. But I was like, it's 11 o'clock. This fight can continue on for another 2 hours probably. But I know you're going to come out of it on top. You might waste some resources, but you're going to come out of it on top. So let's just call this fight. I said, in fact, I'm getting tired of being in this dungeon. So what's going to happen after this room is you guys are going to wander around this dungeon and try to find a way out while you try to find the Ultraloth that you came here to rescue. I said, basically what would happen at the end of every round, I'd roll a 12-sider. If it gets a 12, then you have an encounter. And that could be a combat or it could not be a combat. I didn't say that, but that's how all my encounters are. They've actually talked their way past quite a few encounters. But that doesn't really shorten the time much, you know? A combat encounter is going to take twice as long as a social encounter generally with my players. So they felt okay with skipping the end of the dungeon because the prison was like going to be basically on lockdown. You know, guards were going to be coming from everywhere. All the guards were going to be out. All the prisoners were going to be running around trying to escape. So basically, I had I skipped Krang, huh? So Krang ran for his brother in the first part of the fight, and that's like all he did. He got to the back of the room, and this giant blue light came streaming out on the second round. They went back there and found out that they were merging, basically. And he turned into this super Elder Brain. So this super Elder Brain said, you know, the Ultraloth is this way, come on. And they prepared plane shift. They prepared who they're going to take. There was the Gunalinga, the bull with the wings celestial, from the beginning that they tried to heal. Actually, I think they cast Greater Restoration on him, and I let it do a little bit. There was the Kirin left, the Kirin bailed after they said, we're here to rescue an Ultraloth, and the Kirin was like, you know, no, I'm out. They struggled with that one for a while because his name was the Builder. What, I don't have his name in front of me, but his name was something the Builder. And he, they were like, yeah, wouldn't this guy be perfect to, you know, make the sword that we came in here to get the medal about? And I was like, you know, no, you guys got to stop with this. I know this sounds cool, but you're going to find out why it's not going to happen soon. So, you know, let's not worry about that. Let's forget about the Kirin going along. So anyway, Krang comes out of the back, you know, with his brother, his new complete self, basically. And so they decide to take the Dao leaves. He says, I'm out of here, and disappears. Once he knows that he can leave, he leaves. He has no allegiance to the players. The players were supposed to be in there to rescue him. A favor for a character's patron, a warlock's patron. The player dropped out, I guess. I don't know what happened to him, but I don't think he's coming back. But that storyline was still there, and they found this genie, right? So I was like, so, you know, you're going to get experience for it, but you're not going to get anything from him because you weren't supposed to get anything from him anyway. You weren't supposed to be rewarded. This was supposed to be a favor for somebody that he's fulfilling. So basically, you're going to fulfill this favor for him, and maybe this genie will owe you. I didn't say that, so if you're listening, don't count on it. Anyway, so the genie disappears, but he leaves a calling card. Okay, it leaves his name and his location. It says, "I owe you one." All right, this is kind of leading into 2 adventures down the road. So, what they end up doing after that is making a plan on who they can take with them. So it's the 6 players. There were 6 players, so you can take 8. One was the caster. You can take 8 with you, so they had 3 slots left. They took the unicorn, the Gunalinga, and somebody else. Maybe they only had 2 slots. Maybe they thought they could only take 1 person, and they could actually take 2. Let's see here if I can check that real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there were only 6 of them, so they should have took 3 people. I don't know who the last one they took was. I'll have to open up that battle map maybe and take a look and see if there was another character there. I'm trying to think. It was Unicorn, the Gunalinga, and I thought they were going to be able to take one other person, and they were thinking about taking the Empyrean, but then they were like, no, we'd rather take the Gunalinga. And so they told Krang to take the Empyrean in hopes that one day they could get a favor out of the Empyrean. So Krang, giant Krang, new Krang, scoops him up into his tentacles and floats away with him. The Ultraloth, that was the last one. There you go. So they get back to the Ultraloth, and basically they plane shift to the Ultraloth's home, and that's where we end. I asked them if they want to go outside or they want to plane shift like right when they get the Ultraloth. Sombra the mage says, well, I'd rather do it outside. It'd be better outside. So they go outside. I think they did that just to make sure. I don't know why they did that. I think they did that just to make sure that the shield was down and they could get out. Because I hadn't told them that the shield was definitely down. So they get out and they get to see Krang float away to his Nautilus spaceship. And one of the players looks at me and says, "Can we do the train?" And I was like, yes. And this is something he and I had been planning for a while. I really like it when players take initiative and ask me things outside of the game and work on things outside of the game. And then we get to bring it in as a big surprise. This is a 12-car train. It is like a double wide train. It would not fit on tracks. It is based off a lightning rail from Eberron. I am also going to put it in World Anvil eventually, so you guys will get to see it. But this thing comes, roaring out of the sky in like a Christmas special kind of way in my head, S-ing down towards the players. And one of his companions, not companions, that's not the word, henchman's not the word, follower. One of his followers says, all right, boss, I got the train up and running. Pops his head out. And everybody's like, what is this? So we ended there, and then we spent about the next 15 minutes talking about the train and all of its glory. It's basically got a car for everything. It's got a car for sleeping, it's got a car for cargo, it's got a car for passengers. And it is out of the Acquisitions Incorporated book, is where we've based most of this out of. And this is an amazing book, my friends. I don't know how much glory I've spoken about this book, but my God, is it amazing. If Acquisitions Incorporated could sponsor me, I would let them. So this book has an amazingly detailed setup for a headquarters for the acquisition business, right? And then you pay so much to the home office every month for it. So this can directly be translated into business expenses. And there's an updated table from the DMG for business expenses. It goes up higher and goes down lower, so you can end up paying more or paying less. And it's also more of a gradient. I don't know. I don't think that's the right word, but it's more stratified. So there's more numbers on the chart, basically. So instead of going from 100 to 50, it goes 175, 50, 25. I don't think it actually does, but that's kind of what I'm getting at. So, yeah, we're digging through this book. He says, he wants an extra dimensional train. How do we work with that? And I was like, man, read Acquisitions Incorporated and then come back to me and ask me that question, and then we'll work on it. So he starts looking at this stuff, and he dove into it. I think he ate that book alive. And it's an amazing book. It's got some really good stuff in there. One of the other things that it brought to, you've got bodies, right? You've got extra people helping you run this place. You've got a staff, and what you can do with that staff is send them on downtime activities while you're adventuring. So if you're out for a week, they can be doing something for a week, and that totally makes sense, right? Now, I don't think that it makes sense that anybody would do this for you, right? You can't just go into a town and be like, hey man, I need you to do some spell research for me. Here's the money plus 50% more, so you don't just steal my money. That I mean, some guy might jump on that, but everybody else is gonna be like, "Nah, I got stuff to do, man. Sorry, I'm not your guy." But followers and henchmen, that's the right word. Guy you pay, right? Hireling, but a little bit better. Hireling, but gets levels. So yeah, so henchmen, definitely. Followers, definitely. These people would definitely like to do stuff for you, right? That's what they're there for. That's what their position is in the game. So I can't think of what else. It really detailed the Office, the Acquisitions franchise. There are levels. Every tier it goes up a level, which means it costs more, but it also gets more things. It gets defense things. It gets you can have things like a library. He has a crafting car. There is a bar slash casino car. There is a dining car, and he wanted to be fancy gourmet because his character's all about the fancy. But yeah, overall it was a really good adventure. It was really a lot of fun, and I'm glad that train came out. It's very exciting. So next adventure, they will be meeting their Yugoloth friend Sog Thonok, and he is a Mesoloth, and they will be meeting with him and getting Orgreg back and reuniting them together, and that will be a happy reuniting. Hey boy, they will be happily reunited, and we're gonna find out what happens with the ore next session. While I'm sitting here, let's type that out. So we need to resolve Orgreg. We need to resolve the ore. What else do we need to do? So we're going to resolve Orgreg. We're going to resolve the ore. And I think that's it. They totally ditched somebody in that prison. They were supposed to take a Morkoth with them. So I don't know. Eventually that'll come back to bite them in the ass. Probably not. They'll probably never run across the Morkoth again. If they do, it's going to be that Morkoth. I should drop that in plot encounters. I generally in my encounter tables I leave 9 to 12 for plot encounters or no encounter. So yeah, if they've got plot encounters stacked up, like in my other game, one of them was they had a treasure map. So I rolled an encounter. It came up a plot encounter. And I looked over my plots that they had, and they had a treasure map. So I was like, okay, so you find out where this treasure map leads to, you know. You see this area, and it looks like what's on the treasure map. So that random encounter turned into that night's adventure. And I really like the way it works. I don't have enough plot encounters, so I think that I think that I can't lean too hard on it. But when something does happen that may come up later, it's a good place to slot that for me. So let's go ahead and put the Morkoth in there. Plot encounter for the Morkoth. And I think that's it, right? They've got the Gunalinga that will figure out what happens. Because they're going to Gehenna. That's going to be fun, right? They're going to resolve Orgreg and Sogthonok. They're going to resolve the ore. They're going to find out what they need to do with that next. And they're going to have a plot encounter with Morkoth. They're not going to have a plot encounter. I'm going to make a plot encounter for the Morkoth, which will basically be, I don't know, they'll have to be in some random place, right? Because Morkoth isn't like traveling around. He hangs out in his lair and collects stuff. So I don't know. Maybe the Morkoth is out trying to find something, trying to get something, or maybe they stumble across the Morkoth's lair, and ironically, it's them or him. Let's see here. That is not what I wanted to do. Let's open this window up a little bit. See if that changes anything. No, it doesn't. enter episode 18. Nope, edit. Edit. I'm still getting used to using this control here. There we go. Have I got a deal for you? That was a great episode last week. The players, one of the characters tried to contact a deity. My son's playing a cleric, and he really likes to use the divine intervention, I think it's called. He likes to lean on it, and why the hell not? Because, you know, what the hell? He rolled really high, so it was a no-go. But a devil showed up, and he was like, "Hey, you know, I'm not the guy you called, but I heard you crying out for help, and I thought maybe I could be of some assistance." So they met a devil, Torzukov, and he helped them out of a jam, and they only had to trade 6 souls. They've got these soul coins that they're supposed to be powering the Fell Reaver I gave them with, but I haven't put them in a position where they can use the Fell Reaver yet. I think I put the Fell Reaver in there mostly because they're going to have to deal with that Pit Fiend General Gazra eventually, and I wanted them to have something else on their side. Aside from this magic sword that I haven't exactly decided what's going to do, but it's going to weaken him quite a bit. I think it might just be like once he's hit with the sword, he can be damaged. Otherwise, he can't be damaged at all. And that was something I did last night with the Imperion. I waited till the Imperion got down to half damage, and then I took the cap off and healed the Imperion back to full. And said that the cap illusion drops, and it's actually like a big slug that's wrapped around his head and boring in the back. And it falls out dead, and the illusion of damage on the Imperion disappears, so he's back at full health. But at that time, you know, it was he was vulnerable to bludgeoning, slashing, and piercing, so he really had less hit points, I guess, technically, right? Somebody crit, so it was a quadruple. It was pretty good. It was he did over 100 damage in 3 attacks. No, 6 attacks. He used extra attack. What is that called? Action surge. That's it. Action surge. I've got a loud boy in the background. I wonder if you can hear him. Let's see. Why did I open this? I opened this for some reason. Oh, to check on plots, right? Kasra, yep. Pit jail. Yeah, that is about all that they came across. Looks like I'm kind of rambling right now. Let's see here. Plot. What? There's no plots on here? But yes, there is. Can I search up here? Plot? No. Full search means it searches the vignette and excerpt as well. Other characters. So I'm gonna have to add a plot category, I think, here, so I can organize these plots. How do I guess I refresh maybe. Loading article list, and let's see here. Devil. Demogorgon. Does it say? Yeah, species, location, species, planes, location, person, characters. Person, characters. Yeah, I'm not seeing an easy way to find plots. Actually, I know an easy way. We're going to campaign, huh? There we go. Plots. Add plots to your campaign. So we've got defeating a Sararak, rescuing Cassie the Stunning. They finished that. Return Klabu home. They did not finish that. And the problem with Pit Fiends. They are working on that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add. Castle the Stunning in here. and then I can work on his page too. All right, so yeah, that's what happened, and it was a really fun night. Glad my old friend got to play. It was very fun. Hope he's going to be coming back, and yeah, so I will talk to you guys next week. This is going to be a regular thing, and I'm going to be back to putting the podcast out every week, so I'm really excited. If it's nothing but a plot wrap up, then that's great. If I talk about stuff, which I probably will, because I have problems, I have issues, I have ideas. Like this week, I babble on about Acquisitions Incorporated. Go buy the book; it's good. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next week. And yeah, that's it. That's my podcast, guys. If anybody's got any questions in chat, go ahead and spit them out right now. But it doesn't look like there's really anybody in chat, so all right. I missed Thanos Killer while I was talking. All right, guys. Talk to you later.